Genesis, chapter 5, verse 1 to 32. This is the written account of the descendants of Adam. When God created human beings, He made them to be like Himself. Genesis 5:1. He created them male and female, and He blessed them and called them human. Genesis 5:2. When Adam was 130 years old, he became the father of a son, who was just like him in his very image. He named his son Seth. Genesis 5:3. After the birth of Seth, Adam lived another 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:4. Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:5. When Seth was 105 years old, he became the father of Enosh. Genesis 5:6. After the birth of Enosh, Seth lived another 807 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:7. Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:8. When Enosh was 90 years old, he became the father of Kenan. Genesis 5:9. After the birth of Kenan, Enosh lived another 815 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:10. Enosh lived 905 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:11. When Kenan was 70 years old, he became the father of Mahalalel. Genesis 5:12. After the birth of Mahalalel, Kenan lived another 840 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:13. Kenan lived 910 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:14. When Mahalalel was 65 years old, he became the father of Jared. Genesis 5:15. After the birth of Jared, Mahalalel lived another 830 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:16. Mahalalel lived 895 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:17. When Jared was 162 years old, he became the father of Enoch. Genesis 5:18. After the birth of Enoch, Jared lived another 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:19. Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:20. When Enoch was 65 years old, he became the father of Methuselah. Genesis 5:21. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch lived in close fellowship with God for another 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:22. Enoch lived 365 years. Genesis 5:23. Walking in close fellowship with God. Then one day he disappeared, because God took him. Genesis 5:24. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he became the father of Lamech. Genesis 5:25. After the birth of Lamech, Methuselah lived another 782 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:26. Methuselah lived 969 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:27. When Lamech was 182 years old, he became the father of a son. Genesis 5:28. Lamech named his son Noah, for he said, "May he bring us relief from our work and the painful labor of farming, this ground that the Lord has cursed." Genesis 5:29. After the birth of Noah, Lamech lived another 595 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Genesis 5:30. Lamech lived 777 years, and then he died. Genesis 5:31. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis 5:32. To be continued. 4. Genesis, chapter 6. Don't forget to subscribe.